Madam Diop, I believe that you have been holding meetings, like you said, in the last 3 days. You have been having conversations, find out how you can support. What have you been told in concrete terms as to how you can, or your organization, or the African Union can support the families and the people of Chibok and indeed Nigeria?
I think when we met, for example, the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, they said that we thought that the African Union will never come and meet us because we have been here for months and months. And the fact that we have been connecting and continuing to echo their voice, you know, because it seems that we are all silent around this issue. So they were very happy that African women, but especially within the African Union, are coming to connect with them, and that's what we did. And we discussed with women leaders also of these countries who have so many ideas in terms of the health. When the girls are back, what do we do with health? In terms of education, I visited school yesterday here in Abuja. Unfortunately, going to the north is very difficult right now, I think, and you imagine the security issues. But I visited all around Abuja. I went to the school. And what the young girls told me yesterday, you know, question that I didn't imagine from them. They said to the delegation that I led, because this is a high-level delegation, not only me, there is a Chief Justice, Judge in Ghana, but also we have an ambassador at the AU from Niger. So the girls were telling me, what about corruption? How about good governance? Another one talked about education of girls. What happened, the gender relation? So you get educated, at the end of the day, you go back and you cook for your husband, and you don't exploit your talent. So there were so many good questions, the interaction and the dialogue with those girls who know how we can fix some of the issues. We need education, they were saying. Nobody should deny us the right to be educated, the right tomorrow to be engineer, to be the pilot, because we need Africa to develop. If we have resources and we are not developing, it's because those expertise we need from the young girls, from the all our population are inexistent. So we need to develop. So I talked to the Women's Network themselves. They were saying, let's go concretely, for example, in the IDP. There are huge demand of humanitarian assistance. You know, so it's not about the health only and about the education. Nigeria have huge resources of oil. So where do we, the women were saying, we need to have a quota in the budget to go to the human security of the people. Economic empowerment was said as well. So those are concrete things. How do we support them? And we are ready at the African Union to support initiatives in this kind.
Is the initiatives you're talking about, are they specifically just for the Chibok girls when they're back, or are you talking about supporting women in general? Because if this is about the Chibok girls, you say that you have been asking questions. One wonders if you are able to get answers.
You know, from the citizen, of course, from the citizen you get answers, and I was very also happy to meet with the Minister of Gender and also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on those questions, the government, to ask questions as well. What is happening? What can be done more in terms of the, and of course we get answer in terms of the what government is trying to achieve in terms of intelligence service or in terms of military, but we engage more what can be done in terms of addressing the root cause of some of those, of the conflict in a longer term. Because we know that sometimes inequality, you know, injustice, you know, those are some of the issues that also people will use, the insurgent or others will use to make sure that the country become unstable. So, that's why also we are proposing that in the election, we have another kind of governance. What I mean in terms of governance is to bring in other voices like women. We know that Nigeria have quota for women participation in elections. We need to have more women in political parties, more women in charge of our destiny, because when women are in charge, we are not saying that men should not be, but most of the time we will reduce the corruption, or even we will make sure that there is no way that mechanism of governance will be corrupted. Zero tolerance of corruption. So we need to invest our resources to the people, bring it back to the people. And I think that is where women of this country, and we say, vote for the people that you know, even at the lower level in your village. What were people that have the heart for the people and the citizen? You have the right to vote. And we also made an appeal to the women. We say we need to go to election, but when you go to election, tell the leaders that it's through the ballot that we should make the difference and not through the bullet. We need Nigeria to be stable. Because of West Africa, we need Nigeria to have stability. We need Nigeria. This is a giant economically in Africa. So we need Nigeria to stabilize. That's one of the reasons why we are here today.
Okay, now that you have visited, what should we be looking to see after your visit?
We will continue to make sure that what recommendation they gave us, we will take it back. On the 16th, I will be addressing the Peace and Security Council of the African Union. What I have seen here, I will report back. And with the hope that member states of the African Union will take action. We cannot ignore anymore what is happening. We cannot. So we will sensitize member states. Decision is on them. But we as African women, we will continue to look at how to address the plight of these women. Either it is in the displaced camps, on humanitarian assistance, on the children. We continue to do our advocacy on education for the girls, and we will support wherever, and we will mobilize resources, wherever financial resources are, to make sure that we invest on the girl of this country, but also we invest on the girls of our continent. Madam Zuma, that is the chairperson of the African Union, is very keen, looking into other sectors, economic empowerment, political empowerment. There are so many sectors where we can invest. So we will continue to do the advocacy. And hopefully at the summit of the African Union in January, this issue also will be discussed. The symbol of the Chibok girls. So it can be happening, Chibok girls can be in any countries, but we need to stop it, prevent it from happening, but investing on the future of our children and of our youth.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Bineta Diop, for speaking with us this morning on Sunrise Daily. She's of the African Union. She's the African Union Special Envoy for Women, Peace and Security, as well as the founder and chairperson, Executive Board of Women of Africa Solidarity. Well, thank you once again. Sunrise Daily takes a moment now. We'll return shortly. Stay with us.